Hi everyone! Welcome to my channel, Math is Fun channel. This channel is an educational channel to help you understand your lessons about mathematics. This video discussion also or channel will help you improve your performance in mathematics. This is intended to those who are doing online classes out there and also those who are answering their modules as of this moment. This is very helpful for you. This is really meant for you. So please do not forget to subscribe my channel, watch the video discussions that I have in my channel, and also share this video discussion to your friends out there, especially those who are struggling in mathematics, so that you can help them improve their performance in mathematics. Okay, is that okay? Yeah, that is so great. A very nice advocacy and life. Always remember that math is not a difficult subject, but it's easy, fun, and interesting. So are you ready for our new topic in this video discussion? I know you are ready, so let's get started. So I am going to share with you about the our presentation or PowerPoint presentation in this video discussion. So to start with, sharing. Of course, our topic will be about rational expressions. But before anything else, it's very important to know and, of course, being guided with the objectives for this afternoon or for in this video discussions rather. So our topic will be the fundamental property of rational expressions, objectives for this video discussion, to find the numerical value of a rational expression. Second objective, we're going to find the values of the variable for which a rational expression is undefined. Third objective, write rational expressions in lowest terms. And lastly, we're going to recognize equivalent forms of rational expressions. So to start, of course, we have it there. The fundamental property of rational expression, it's very important to really know the definition of a rational expression. What is a rational expression? But before anything else, let me remind you, or let's have some recap about fractions or rational numbers. The quotient of two integers is what we call rational numbers, correct? So in our previous topics in grade 7, the quotient of two integers are rational numbers with the denominator not equal to 0, such as 2/3 or negative 3/4 is called a rational number. So, in the same way, the quotient of two polynomials with the denominator not equal to 0 is called a rational expression, as you can see there. So again, in the quotient of two polynomials with the denominator not equal to 0 is called rational expression. So in short, we can define formally a rational expression class as an expression of the form of P over Q. P over Q, where P and Q are polynomials. So it must be polynomials, your numerator and denominator. So your Q must be, since your Q is your denominator, then we can say that your Q must not be equal to 0. Same with the fraction. When the denominator is 0, that becomes undefined. So in relating it to rational expressions, our Q or denominator must not be also equal to 0, or else the expression will become undefined or math error. So here are the examples, as you can see, about rational expressions. We have negative 6x over x cubed plus 8. The other one is this one, 9x over y plus 3. And of course, 2m cubed over 8. These are examples of rational expressions. So in short, in a simple way of saying about rational expression, we can write it in the form of P over Q, or fractional form, where your P and Q, or your numerator and denominator, are all polynomials, or it must be polynomials in short. And your denominator or your Q is not or must not be equal to 0, or else the expression will become undefined. Exactly. So now let's go over with our first objective. Our first objective is to find the numerical value of a rational expression so that we can understand the concept how how to solve, or what's the concept about rational expression. Now, this time, we are going to evaluate rational expression. So, to evaluate, we have the instruction, find the value of the rational expression when x is equal to 3, given the rational expression x over 2x plus 1. So, how do we solve this one? Of course, we will just to evaluate rational expression, since we have the given value of your x, which is 3, then replace 3, replace x by 3, since x is equal to 3. So by substituting it or using the method of substitution, then we will just substitute or replace the value of your x as 3 rather, and that becomes 3 over 2 times the quantity of 3 plus 1. And after that, we are going to solve it in order to evaluate. Then you have it 3, then over 6 plus 1. Then we have it 3 over 7. So that's how we evaluate rational expressions. Easy, right? So next is we're going to proceed to the next. So do not forget, how do we evaluate? We will just replace the value with a given, we will just replace the variable with a given value. So next, objective number 2, we're going to find the values of the variable for which a rational expression is undefined. So we are going to identify the values that are permissible values, or values that will make the rational expressions undefined. So permissible values, or yes, we're going to find the values of the variable for which a rational expression is undefined. What are permissible values of your denominator? Of the variable rather in your denominator. That's what it means. Now find the values of the variable for which a rational expression is undefined. So in the definition of a rational expression, P over Q, where Q cannot be equal to 0, the denominator of a rational expression cannot equal 0, because division by 0 will give the expression, or will make the expression undefined. Same in the fraction. So it's very important to identify what are the values rather that are permissible or permitted values, or permissible values that we can substitute to your denominator. I'm referring to variable in your denominator. So in the definition of a rational, as I have said, for instance, in the rational expression 3x plus 6 and all over 2x minus 4, this one, 3x plus 6 all over 2x minus 4, then we are going to identify the values or permissible values of your x, especially in your denominator. So your denominator must not be equal to 0, or else the expression will become undefined. So the variable x cannot take on any real number value except 2. If x is equal to 2, what will happen? That gives you 2 times the quota, 2 times 2 minus 4, which is equal to 0, making the expression undefined. So this is the reason why your x in the denominator must not be equal to 2, or else the denominator will become 0 and the rational expression will become undefined. So thus, x cannot equal to 2. We indicate this restriction by representing in this mathematical symbol, x is not equal to 2. In short, you can put or you can replace any value of your x in the denominator except 2. That is what it meant in here. Okay, so do not forget that one. So again, in this expression, your x must not be equal to 2, because when x is equal to 2, the whole expression will become undefined because your denominator will become 0. So that's how we find the values of the variable for which a rational expression is undefined. So since we are solving to find the values that make the expression undefined, we write the answer as variable, as I put there in the PowerPoint presentation. This one, x variable, then the symbol not equal, then the value, just like this one. X is not equal to 2. not variable is equal to value, okay? Not x is equal to 2, but x is not equal to 2. So in short, again, once again, that means you can replace any value of your variable in the denominator, any values rather, except 2. So that's how you find the values of the variable for which a rational expression is undefined. Next. So find the values of the variable for which a rational expression is undefined. Another example, another steps. To determine the values for which a rational expression is undefined, we use the following steps or procedures, or procedure rather. Step number 1, set the denominator of the rational expression equal to 0. Again, you set the denominator of the rational expression equal to 0. Very good. Step number 2, then you can solve the equation. Then after that, step number 3, the solutions of the equation are the values that make the rational expression undefined. So, the numerator of a rational expression may be any real number. If the numerator equals 0 and the denominator does not equal to 0, then the rational expressions equals 0. That is why we set the denominator of the rational expression equal to 0. So next, let's have an example. Find any values of the variable for which each rational expression is undefined. Let's start in number 1. Okay, this one, x plus 2 all over x minus 5. I will highlight this one. So what will we do? For step 1, applying the step number 1, we equate the denominator to 0. So x minus 5 is equal to 0, the denominator. Next, what's the next step? Next step is you solve for your x. So now your x is equal to 0. What I mean is equal to 5. So x is equal to 5. So since 5 can be substituted to your x, so since we are looking for the restriction or restricted values of your x so that the whole expression will not become undefined, then your x must not be, instead of using the equal sign, we will use the unequal sign. And that is the reason why our answer must be x is not equal to 5. Easy, right? Okay, let's do the other one. The 5z minus 1 all over x squared plus 5. Okay. What I mean for the second one, let's do the second one rather. The 3r over r squared plus 6r plus 8. So, we have to rewrite the denominator in factored form so that it will be easier for us to equate the denominator to 0. So you rewrite this one in factored form. So the factored forms are, the factored form rather, or the factors are r plus 2 and r plus 4. After that, we are going to equate each factors to 0. What do you mean by equates, sir? You just put equal 0, equal sign, then 0. Let's see. Okay, for r plus 2, the first factor, we can have it r plus 2 is equal to 0. Yes. And then solve for your r, then your r will be equal rather to negative 2. Therefore, your r must not be equal to 2, right? So applying the subtraction property of equality, then you subtract it so that this will be eliminated and what will be left will be r. And then negative 2, so we have it negative 2. That's why our r is equal to negative 2. Since we are looking again for any values of the variable for which each rational expression is undefined, then we will use the symbol of an equal sign. So our answer in here is r is not equal to or must not be equal to negative 2. In short, you can set any values of your r except for negative 2. That is the meaning of that. Then after that, we will now solve 5z minus 1 all over z squared plus 5. We're going to find the values of the variable in your denominator, which make the rational expression is undefined. So what will we do again? What I mean, I forgot the other one, right? Let's go back first to the, we forgot the r plus 4 in here. For the r plus 4, sorry, we have two factors in here, right? So the other one is your r must not be equal to -2. The other factor is r plus 4, correct? So equate, same process, you equate it to 0, then solve for your r. Then that gives you r plus 4 minus 4 is equal to 0 minus 4. By applying the subtraction property of equality, then you have it r must not be equal to -4. So in short, class, your r must not be equal to -2 and -4. So again, you can set any values of your r rather, which is your variable in the rational expression, except for -2 or -4, or else the expression will become undefined. Okay? So I hope you'll be able to grasp the concept. And for the last example, 5z minus 1 all over z squared plus 5, never this expression will never be undefined. Why? Why? Because you can set any values of your z in here. Because the operation in here is +5. Even if it is negative or positive numbers, or even 0, the value of your z, this will never be undefined. That's why there is no such values or restricted values in your z in this given expression, since it's +5 and it's z squared. Okay, so I hope you'll be able to understand and grasp the concept. So this is how we find the values that make your rational expressions rather undefined. So let's next, and let's proceed to the next objective. Objective number 3 is we're going to write rational expressions in lowest terms. So a fraction such as 2/3 is said to be in lowest terms. The idea of greatest common factor in here is used for this definition, which applies to all rational expressions. So same rules in writing in lowest terms for fractions and rational expressions. They have the same concept in here. A rational expression P over Q is also a fractional form, where Q is not equal to 0. It is in lowest terms if the greatest common factor of its numerator and denominator is 1. A very simple definition about the lowest term, or rational expression in lowest term. Again, a rational expression P over Q, where Q is not equal to 0, is in lowest terms if the greatest common factor of its numerator and denominator is 1. So if P over Q, where Q is not equal to 0, is a rational expression, and if K represents any polynomial where K is not equal to 0, therefore P over K, PK rather, over QK is equal to P over Q. Okay? So just cancel it, and that gives you P over Q. Sorry for the inconvenience. There are teachers, perhaps who are very noisy. Same with students perhaps. Okay, so going back to our discussion. So that's how we represent rational expressions in lowest term. Pk over qk is equal to P over Q. So this property is based on the identity property of multiplication, since Pk over Qk, as you can see, is equal to P over Q times K over K, which is equal to P over Q times 1, which gives us P over Q. Again, I am just explaining how to represent rational expressions in lowest terms. So we can say again, the point here is, we can say that a rational expression is in lowest terms if the greatest common factor of its numerator and denominator is 1. Okay, so let's proceed. Now we will try to apply what we have just learned in objective number 3, writing in lowest terms. So write each rational expression in lowest terms. First, we have 15 over 45. So that can be factored both numerator and denominator by 3 times 5 and 3 times 3 times 5. And then cancel the common factors, and that gives you 1 over 3. Why 1 over 3? We cancel the common factors, this one, this one. So the only thing that will be left in the numerator is 1, then over 3. Okay, next, 6p cubed over 2p squared. So we are going to factor them. 2 times 3 times p times p times p. Then we have it 2 times p for your denominator. So cancel the common factors. Then what will be left are 3 and p. So we will just multiply them. That gives us 3p. Easy, right? So that's how we do that's how we write the rational expressions in lowest terms. Now, in the next, just to continue, to write a rational expression in lowest terms, follow these steps. Step number 1, factor the numerator and denominator completely. So you have to factor both numerator and denominator. Step number 2, use the fundamental property to divide out any common factors. In short, you can cancel the common factors. Step number 3, or for step number 2, you have to remember that if the numerator and the denominator of a rational expression are opposites, example, x minus y all over y minus x, then the rational expression is equal to negative 1. Do not forget that one. That is very important reminder. And of course, rational expressions cannot be written in lowest terms until after the numerator and denominator have been factored. Only common factors can be divided out or canceled. Please take note of that. Not common terms, okay? Common factors, not common terms. Please take note of that. Just like what we have there as an example. 6x plus 9 all over 4x plus 6. Then you can factor it out. 2x plus 3 over 3 times 2 times 2x plus 3. 2 times 2x plus 3. So as you can see, you can cancel or divide. You can divide it out, the common factors, 2x plus 3. Then the only thing that will be left in here is 3 over 2. That's why our answer is 3/2. Another thing, this one, you cannot cancel this one, the x in here. Why? Because they are not factored form. Again, you can only cancel common factors, but not common terms. So that's what the meaning of that, the one that I said a while ago. So I hope you'll be able to remember how to write rational expressions in lowest terms. So now let's have an example. First, of course, you have to list down or write it in a factored form following step number 1. So you have it 2 times 2y plus 1 all over 3 times 2y plus 1. Then cancel the common factors, 2y plus 1. I'll show you how to cancel it. Just cancel the common factors. That's why our answer is 2/3. Next, this one for the second expression that we're going to write in lowest terms. So we write it in factored form. So you have it a minus b and a plus b all over a plus b times a plus b. So we will, what do you think are common factors? Yeah, you're right, a plus b. Then cancel it. Then you have it a minus b all over a plus b. That's our simplest form, or yeah, lowest term of the expression or rational expression given. So are you still there? Yes, you are still there. So let's do this one. What about this example? How to write in lowest terms rather, the given rational expression x squared minus 5 all over 5 minus z squared. What did I say? Numerator and denominators are in opposite, right? They're opposite rather. So what will we do? What's the answer? Okay, so you can just make them as one common factor. How? We multiply them by negative 1, the denominator, to make it the same as your numerator. Take down note. They're almost the same, right? But it's just their opposite. The z here, the z squared rather here is negative and here is positive. So to make the denominator same as your numerator, you multiply it by negative 1. So see, they are now the same. Then you can cancel it out. You can cancel them rather. The answer is negative 1. Okay, I hope you'll be able to grasp the concept so far. And of course, the other one, more examples. So 5 minus y all over y minus 5 is equal to? Yes, that's negative 1. For the second one, 25x squared minus 16 all over 12 minus 15x. You're going to write it in factored form. Yeah, that's it. The factors of both numerator and denominator rather. Then what are their common factors? Yeah, exactly. The 5x minus 4. So you can cancel it out just like what we did here. So what will be left are, okay, what will be left is 5x plus 4 all over negative 3. Okay, so you can just have it. I guess we got a wrong symbol, this one. This must be 5x plus 4, not a negative in here, all over negative 3. Or you can rewrite it as, negative, yeah, 5x plus 4 over 3. Okay, you can just write it in this way. So different form. So I will accept this answer. Okay, so I hope you'll be able to remember this one. And of course, for this one, for the next 9k, 9 minus k rather, all over 9 plus k, you cannot, okay, so you cannot have it, yeah, you cannot write it in lowest terms because it's already in lowest terms. So I hope you got the concept about it. And lastly, our fourth objective, we have it here. Recognize equivalent forms of rational expressions. So let's continue. When working with rational expressions, it is important to be able to recognize equivalent forms of an expressions. For example, the common fraction of negative 5 over 6 can also be written as negative 5 over 6 and 5 over negative 6. So do not forget that one. Consider the rational expression negative 2x plus 3 all over 2. This can be written in different forms. So the sign, the negative sign, represents the factor negative 1 is in front of the expression even with fraction bar. The factor negative 1 may instead be placed in the numerator or in the denominator. Again, in numerator or in the denominator. Some other equivalent forms of these rational expressions are, so other forms of these, they are equivalent. This one, the equivalent. Some of its equivalent fractions or expressions. This one, they're just the same. And this one, you can write this form in this form and also in this form. Okay, so do not be confused about that one. So that's how we recognize equivalent forms of rational expressions. So by distributive property, we can have it, yeah, distribute the negative. So we have it negative 2x minus 3 all over 2. So negative 2x plus 3 all over 2 is not an equivalent form of negative times the quantity of 2x plus 3 all over 2. Why? Because the sign preceding 3 in the numerator rather, of negative 2x plus 3 all over 2 should be negative rather than positive. Okay, so be careful to apply the distributive property of multiplication in here. So write for equivalent forms of the rational expressions. Let's have an example, more example. So what are give me the four equivalent forms of the rational expression in the given negative 2x minus 6 all over x plus 3. So we have four equivalent forms, so we can have it or write it in this way. This one, and this one. They are just other forms for this rational expressions. We call it equivalent forms of rational expressions. So that's it. So I hope you have learned a lot of things for today's video discussion. So I hope you're going to continue to watch my video discussion and share it to your friends. Do not forget to subscribe and of course share this, and please click like button after watching my video. Thank you so much and have a good day.